Good afternoon. Welcome to BYJU'S exam prep. Welcome to your third of a series of decision making sessions that we have been having. All right. So now we have discussed in the earlier sessions, but again, I will go through the basics of decision making with you. If you can see me and hear me clearly, please give me a thumbs up and then we can start the session. What exactly is decision making trying to do, and then we'll look at some cases. Now, again, another good afternoon alarm films. I have told you before when I started the decision making series that my answers may vary, may be different from the official answer key, because I will give you the answer that I think is the best, which is by and large, which tallies with the official answer key. Sometimes there is a question in which I do not agree with the official answer key because my way of approaching the problem is different. In which case, you will find that all other websites give A, how come you are giving B? Well, that's what I think is correct, and I'm not going to change my answer. If your logic allows you to choose A, then please do it. All right? Because I am solving the questions in the manner that I think one should. Sometimes a question or two may vary from the official answer key. So what is decision making? A short problem is given to you in a passage. I have chosen longer problems today, longer passages today. So what do you have to do? Like a reading comprehension passage, you have to read the passage and sum up the main points so that you can identify the problem. What exactly is the problem for which I have to find a solution? Second thing, you have to identify the main stakeholders or the players. Who are the people involved? Because the question will ask you to solve the problem from one person's perspective. Or what should person A do? What should B do? What should C do? So while you are reading, if you can do this thing, then you think of a solution which you will be asked either to look at it from A, B, or C's point of view, or you will be asked what is the best course of action which will help everybody. Then your solution should be win-win as far as possible, one where everybody is happy. All right. HR cases, socio-political and economic issues are all asked in the form of a problem. There are also certain problems which are ethical dilemma questions. Remember, there are no compromises where ethics are concerned. What is right, what is wrong. Just because it benefits 100 people, you will say this is right, even if it is unethical, it does not work. Right? All right, let's start with the first passage. All the cases I have taken are from past year papers. All right. So read the passage in 30 seconds and I will sum it up for you. I'll just put the timer on. All right. So the question says that this island of growth, a place, is witnessing a rapid increase in GDP. Citizens are becoming wealthier and there has been an improvement in the standard of living. So everybody is happy. There's been rapid economic growth, but along with the rapid economic growth, there has been increased nepotism where you work to benefit your close family or friends. In recent times, a fear has gripped the population that corruption would destroy the inclusive nature of the society and hinder economic progress. When corruption goes beyond a level, well, corruption at any level is bad, but beyond a level will start hurting economic progress. However, most citizens had kept quiet. Why had they kept quiet? They had benefited from corruption indirectly, if not directly. They didn't have the time or energy to protest. They are so busy with their work, they don't have the time or the energy to protest, and didn't have the courage to rise against the established power centers. So these were the three reasons for which people kept quiet. Read the next slide. Okay. Now, again, the same points have been repeated, but in a different way, including some other elements saying that there's a need to remove corruption, but no one was willing to take the risk. Politicians, bureaucrats, private organizations were corrupt. Media and intellectuals kept quiet. One, because they benefited indirectly from corruption. The common man was scared of the state's retribution in case the state went after them to take revenge. How did you point this out? And youngsters feared an insecure future. Not a very good scenario. Against this background, an old, unmarried, and illiterate of high moral and ethical authority, Shambhu decided to take on the issue of corruption. So, what did he do? He sat on a hunger strike in the heart of the capital city of the island. He demanded that the government constitute new laws to punish the corrupt across all walks of life. People were afraid of government retribution or revenge. Media and intellectuals kept quiet as they also kind of benefited from corruption. Against this backdrop, there was one old, illiterate, highly moral person called Shambhu who decided to go on a hunger strike in the capital against corruption and made some demands. All right, let's see the next slide. Read it and then we will. Hello, Moksh. Read the next slide and then we will sum up. Now, what happened? Here you have an island which is seeing great economic prosperity, but there's been increasing corruption and nepotism. Nobody is saying anything against this because of three reasons that has been given in the case. One is they are benefiting, either directly or indirectly, they're benefiting from the corruption. Media and intellectuals also are quiet because they are also benefiting from corruption. Those who want to speak against corruption are afraid to do so, thinking that the state would go after them. So they are keeping quiet. Against this background, there is one person, an illiterate, unmarried, poor guy called Shambhu, who decides to protest against this. He goes on a hunger strike and he gets massive support from the islanders. Buckling under the pressure when they see the kind of support Shambhu is getting from the media and the citizens, the government promises that tells Shambhu, you stop your hunger strike, we will accede, we will accept your demands. He ended the hunger strike following the government's announcement. He became very popular with the media, the darling of the media, and he used this popularity in the media and the publicity he was getting to spread the to spread the message that only citizens with unblemished character should be allowed to hold public office. A few months later, after all this happened, hunger strike, withdrawing of the hunger strike, it was found that the government did not fulfill any of the promises that it made to Shambhu. Shambhu therefore decided, was very upset. He decided to go on another protest. But this time he senses that he is not getting the kind of support from the media and the public that he got before. He was sensing that not many people in the media and public are willing to support him. This is the case. All right. Now read the following statements because the question next asks which combination of statements is the most unlikely reason for Shambhu's initial success. Read the question. Which is an unlikely reason for Shambhu's initial success? People's latent anger against corruption. Latent means hidden, something that is not apparent. Shambhu's moral courage, these are reasons for the support. Yes, they are angry. They finally found somebody who they can anchor on to. They found an anchor and they could vent it out. Shambhu's moral courage, yes, they must have been inspired by him. Hungry media looking to raise issues, maybe, but his success. What is Shambhu's personal success got to do with it? Rising income levels, well, then they wouldn't protest against corruption, right? So, in your opinion, which combination of the above statements is the most unlikely reason for Shambhu's initial success? B and D seem to be the same. Let us change it to, no, let's keep D the same. Let's change this to B. Wait, let me just change the. All right. So, what do you think is the answer? Quickly give it to me. 1, 2, 4, 1 and 4, 1 and 3, 3 and 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. An unlikely reason for Shambhu's, for the support, that for Shambhu's initial success. What were the reasons given? These are the reasons. People's anger against corruption, hidden, latent anger against corruption, Shambhu's moral courage. Those are likely reasons. Which are not the likely reasons is 3 and 4. 1 and 2 are reasons for his success. Therefore, the other two are not the reasons. 1 and 3, 1 cannot be not a reason for his success. No, 1 is definitely a reason for his success. People are angry against corruption, so they found somebody to support. Therefore, they supported Shambhu. I want to say or do something. I don't have the time or the energy nor the inclination, so I'll use that. So 3 and 4 is the right answer. Correct. All right. Which of the following could be the most likely reason for the decline in public support? First time there was a lot of support. Second time, when the government did not keep its promise, Shambhu wanted to go on another protest. But this time he figured he was not getting much support. The question is asking, what is a likely reason that there is a decline in support? Remember, he used his publicity that the media gave him to push his agenda that only people with an unblemished record can be allowed to hold high office. Right? That was his agenda. So now, why did they not support Shambhu the second time round? The common man had become sick and tired of the government's inaction against rising corruption. Shambhu was old, he lacked energy to garner the same support that he enjoyed from the media and the public in the initial stages. Initial stages is only 6 months later, right? A few months later. So he didn't grow old in that few months, did he? Who knows? The general public may have realized that Shambhu was focusing too much on indirect involvement in past incidents of corruption. Common man found it difficult to live up to the high standards set by Shambhu. Shambhu's colleagues were misleading him. Shambhu came from a village while most of his supporters were city dwellers. Uh, Kushi, read the question. There was a decline in support. Shambhu is anti-corruption. Remember, Shambhu is an activist against corruption, correct? Were you there when I read the case? Shambhu is an activist against corruption. First time there was massive support from the media and individuals. Second time, so a few months later, and First time he went on a hunger strike, and government and he got tremendous support from the media and the public. So the government told him that, listen, we will fulfill all your wishes, we will accede to all your demands. So he gave up his hunger strike. But a few months later, he found that the government did not keep its promise. It reneged on its promise. So he decided to go on another protest. The nature of the protest has not been told to us. Maybe another hunger strike, we don't know. But the second time round, people are not willing to support him that much. He finds that thoda lukewarm ho gaya. It's not as he's not getting the kind of support he got the first time. So, how is it A? He decides to act against the government. If the common man has become sick and tired of government's inaction against rising corruption, they should support Shambhu, who's at least trying to force the government to act, right? So how is it A? Brinda, Alam, Khushi, how is it A? It can Chinmay, how is it A? If the common man is sick and tired, all they have to do is support Shambhu, because Shambhu is going to be the front runner in the fight. So how can it be A? If the common man is sick and tired of government inaction, that's why it stopped supporting. It is not doing anything. It is only supporting. It is not actively fighting against rising corruption. Y'all are saying it is apathetic. Okay, here it's not saying, it's that they are tired of government's inaction. So when somebody else is calling for government action, also they will not support. You think that explains it? That doesn't make sense, right? I'm tired of protesting, writing letters to the editor. Now suppose you write, I would support your action. So my effort, I don't have to put any effort because you are carrying the fight on my behalf, right? So it cannot be A, right? Cannot be A. Second, Shambhu wouldn't have grown old in a few months. In a few months, he will not lack energy. You think, I mean, yeah, 2 months is 2 months older, but really, okay, this is a little unlikely, unrealistic. Okay, but remember, what did Shambhu do? He used the media support to say that people with only totally unblemished records should be allowed to stand for high office. In a way, yes, kya fayda hai? That's called apathy. That is apathy. Okay, like sometimes they say voter apathy. When you don't agree with the politics that is going on, you say, Acha, I don't support either of the candidates, so why should I even go for a vote? That's called voter apathy. But that is not the reason that 2 months back they supported him and now they are not. Second question is, even if I'm sick and tired of government's inaction, what does it cost me? Not too much effort to, which is the reason why they were not protesting in the first place. But how much effort would it take for me to tell Shambhu that all the best, I am behind you? You understand? So that doesn't make sense. Okay. C is the right answer because he has set such a high standard. Nobody with any record. Now, if this is correct, people may have, look at the language, people may have realized that Sambhu was focusing too much on indirect involvement in past incidents. Even if you're indirectly involved in some past incident of corruption, if he is against you, the high standards set by you would make it impractical. So probably that is the reason people said, no, this guy is a little too much. Nothing's going to come out of this. All right. Misleading him on what? Misleading him on what? On the kind of support he had. Or this D itself is an ambiguous option. Misleading him about what? About the support that he has or the lack of support. That doesn't tell me the reason for the decline in public support. The question is not asking why does Shambhu think there is a decline in public support. The question seems to accept that there is a decline in support for Shambhu, but is asking what do you think is the reason? right? And suddenly Shambhu's rural or urban background doesn't come into the picture, right? He was the same. If he was a rural resident, if he was from a village, it was true 2 months back also. Suddenly people didn't realize, Arey, ye to village se hai, so he cannot tackle urban issues, right? So this is kind of irrelevant. So the most likely answer is C. Uh, all right. Now, remember, yesterday a lot of students had, in fact, messaged and said one of the answers, all the official, every place we looked at, a particular answer has been given. And I told you, these are all past year papers. You and I both have access to it. I am choosing those questions and I'm giving those answers which I feel is correct. All right, even I have access to those websites. There may be something that has said yes, I don't agree with it, I don't agree with it. If that's what the official website said, if you can twist your head around to their logic and say okay, this is correct, go ahead with it. And I say the same thing with any subjective RC parajumble decision making question. Okay, I did not do 2020 decision making. If I had discussed those cases, because we've done it in class, we've done it in a few other sessions, in those cases also I disagreed with the official answer key in one or two places. Because I said official, and this time I thought I will do that. I will tell you that according to the official answer key, A is the answer, but I think B is the answer. That will kind of make you less confused. All right. Okay, let's look at the second case. Again, you read it yourself. Please simplify the main points in your own words. I forgot to time you, but let me time you now for 20 seconds. All right. So it said the head of a nation in the Nordic region. Why Nordic region? They're supposed to be pretty honest actually. Was struggling with slowing economy on the one hand and restless citizens on the other. So there was one person of a particular place, he was the head, and he was worried because one side the economy was not doing well, and the other side the citizens were getting restless. So if it's a democracy, he'll start wondering, will I get elected again? In addition, he had opponents, the opposition, which was doing everything possible to discredit his government. As a famous saying goes, there is no smoke without a fire. So it cannot be said that the incumbent government, a government in power, one who has the seat, is called an incumbent government. The incumbent government was doing all the right things. So it is not like the criticism was baseless. There were also a lot of problems and flaws in the way the government was running things. What are those flaws? There were reports of acts of omission and commission coming out every other day of lots of problems here and there. Distribution of public resources for private businesses and private consumption had created a lot of problems for the government. Can you believe it? You are distributing public resources meant for everybody to private businesses and for private consumption. It was being alleged, that means it hasn't been proved, but people have been saying that the government has given the right to exploit public resources at throwaway prices to some private companies. Next slide. Another 30 seconds. Read it on your own. I'll sum it up. So, what public resource are we talking about here? Water. What has happened here? So, one of the examples, the government policies are being questioned in the Supreme Court as well as in the media. In the midst of all this, the head of the government calls his cabinet colleagues and discusses the recent happenings. He asked his Minister of Water Resources about the bidding process for allocation of rights to set up a hydel power plant or set up mini hydel power plants. Hydel power plants run on water, right? To this, the minister replied that his ministry had followed laid out policies of the government. Water resources were allocated to those private companies that bid the highest and were technically competent. The minister continued, so first tenders must have been raised and the highest bidder must have been given the rights to exploit tidal water resources to set up mini hydel power plants. Those who are competent and also have bid the highest. The minister continued that later on some new companies had shown interest. They were allowed to enter the sector as per the guidelines of the government. Everything is given, we followed the guidelines. That's what they said. Next. All right. Now, there's a little bit of a twist here. Very soon, CET paid classes have already started. We will start the YT classes once that is done. The ministry added that the process they followed would allow for the proper utilization of water resources and provide better services to the citizens. Now, initially there was a process of bidding where the highest bidders, the most competent and highest bidders were allotted water resources to build mini hydel power plants. There were new companies which asked to be allotted later. So they were allotted the rights by in the price set by the highest bidder in the previous round. Here, the head of the nation asked, why didn't you have a fresh round of bidding? Maybe you'd have got more money. The minister said, listen, I've taken permission from all the concerned ministries before allocating the resources to the new companies. All right, I hope you've understood the case. Now, next, the media has got into this. So, what is the media saying? The Minister of Water Resources had deliberately allocated water resources at old prices to the new companies in return for some kickbacks. The minister denied these charges. He countered. His counter argument was that he followed the due process set by government guidelines. All right. And it is very difficult to price a scarce resource like water. He also said that the loss that the media is talking about is notional. In reality, the government and the citizens have gained by the entry of new players. All right, here, which of the following is the most appropriate inference? Public resource like water being given to private bodies to set up mini hydel power plants. It was done with a round of bidding and some new players were allowed to enter at the old prices. Media is alleging that the minister who allowed these new players got some kickbacks in the process. He got some benefits. He says no. All right, this is the case. Now the question is asking, what can you, and he said, by the way, the water is a scarce resource to price. It's very difficult to set a price against water. What we've done is correct. It has actually benefited everybody, and that loss between the older and the new round of bidding is nothing. बहुत कम है, negligible, right? So now what can you infer from this? If the benefit to citizens is higher than notional losses, then it is not unethical. If the benefit to citizens is lower than the notional losses, then it is unethical. If the benefit to citizens is higher than actual losses, then it is not unethical. If benefit is lower, then it is unethical. So what is unethical? According to minister, the loss is only notional, so it is not unethical. So what can you infer from there? We're going to have a Maharashtra CET. We already have other management entrance tests going on. We also have a test series for that. We have a lot of mocks for Maharashtra CET and other exams. So make sure you, if you're interested in that, do take it. Do call our counselors. I will show you their number at the end of the session. Okay. All right. What do you think is the right answer? Which is ethical, unethical, not unethical? Which one do you agree with or disagree with? Option A, higher benefit, benefit greater than the losses, then not unethical. Do you agree with this? Second, benefit lower than losses, then it is unethical. A benefit higher than actual losses, it's not unethical. Lower than actual losses, then it is unethical. Okay, what answers for A, D, and E? One is, one is, this is the minister's reason, right? So his opinion. Do you think that is correct? Did he say, did he mention anything on ethics? Do you think you can set or decide what is ethical or unethical on the basis of benefits, small or large? There are two questions. Based on that, you give me your answer. Can you decide what is ethical and unethical on the basis of benefits or losses? Notional, actual, yes or no? If it is higher, the citizens benefit, then it is not unethical. Do you agree with that? Suppose you are, there is a country which builds a dam. Okay, the river source is in that country, it runs into three countries. Now, one country builds a dam so that all the water is only for its own citizens. You think what it's doing is correct? I will not name the country, I will not name the river. That river flows in three countries and it's a source of water for three countries. I would say what benefits my citizens only, and I build a dam and make sure that no water goes to the other country. All the water stays in my country, my citizens benefit the most. Ethical, unethical. Do you think ethics can be gauged against benefits for a few citizens? And benefit itself is relative. Benefit for whom? For citizens of your area. So therefore, answer is no, none of this. You cannot value ethics vis-a-vis actual or notional losses. So answer is E. All right. Okay. Next question. Very nice question. Troubled us a lot. Subsequently, the minister questioned the role of the media in the whole affair. He said that the media can't act like a reporter, prosecutor, and judge at the same time. Mr. Swami, an independent observer, nothing is in the question I gave, it's unethical. So, benefit for whom? And can you really decide ethics in terms of benefit? So that is like the match fixing question that there was a Pakistani cricketer, I forget his name. He was suspended for match fixing and he said, but I fixed the match so that Pakistan can win. So it benefits the team. I did it for the benefit of the team. I didn't do it for from any personal benefit. I told them something so that Pakistan can win. If today you are willing to pay a bribe or fix a match so that your team wins, tomorrow so you're playing with ethics. In any match, it's unethical to do any fixing. It's a match. There are certain ethics of the game. So just because it benefits your team doesn't make your action ethical. It's ends and means question. So ethics, no compromises. Today, if you are willing to fix a match for the benefit of your team, tomorrow for a larger amount, you can fix a match against your team. So you're showing that you're willing to compromise your ethics for money or for whatever. You're going against the spirit of the game. It is like that. All right. Okay. Question. Next one. What should Mr. Swami reply be? It's like the diplomatic answer you have to look at. The media has been rightly accused by the minister. The minister's statement may be, the minister's statement may be factually incorrect. The media has rightly accused, the minister has been rightly accused. Is the minister correct? A is the minister is correct. B is factually incorrect. C is media is correct. D is media is wrong, or none of the above. What is the answer? The best answer is that minister may be factually incorrect. Let's find out. So here you don't know yet whether the minister is wrong or the media is wrong. So it's better to say it may be that the media minister doesn't know what's happening. Let's find out. Okay. So B is the right answer. All of you agree? All right. This is a good one. Let's quickly finish it. Third case. This is an HR case. I chose it among 3 or 4 others, but I thought this was good. End of the performance review cycle for 2012, when you're asked about your subordinates about any problems they were facing. Natarajan told you that an important member of his team, Vardarajan, remember the main player here is Vardarajan, who had also won the best performance award for the year 2011. Last year he won the best performance award, First Performer Award. But this year there is a complaint against him. What does Natarajan say? That no change was noticed. He was not taking any interest in work, and his attitude, his lack of interest in work only deteriorated. And it is not just you, you were receiving such information from other employees as well. Initially, Natarajan says that he did not interfere in the matter at all. Okay, no. Mr. Natarajan told you, you are the manager. You asked your subordinate Natarajan. Natarajan, you are here. You asked Natarajan about Vardarajan. Understood? So here initially Natarajan tells you that Vardarajan is not taking interest in his work, not just his observation of other employees as well. So initially you hope that Vardarajan would Natarajan would solve this problem himself and take care of this lack of interest in his work. But you had heard about this, but now that Natarajan himself has brought this issue to your notice, you decide to call Vardarajan and counsel him. Natarajan told you, you had also heard this from other employees, that he is not taking interest in his work. Initially, you didn't do anything because you are hoping that you are the skip level manager, so you are hoping that this Natarajan would take care and counsel Vardarajan about his performance. But now that your immediate subordinate has told you this is the problem, you decided to take direct interest in the matter and act. Right. Question. Which of the following could be the most unlikely reason for his declining involvement in the workplace? Remember, 2011 he got the Best Performer Award. 2012 there are complaints about his lack of interest in the work. What do you think is a likely reason? Eliminate those options and come to the most unlikely reason for his lack of interest in the workplace. He doesn't find the work challenging enough as he has already achieved the Best Performance Award. Others in the organization have been trying to pull him down since he was declared the best performer. He was not promoted after his superlative performance, while another colleague, Sundar Rajan, was promoted, although he was not as good a performer as Vardarajan. After putting in lots of effort for the superlative performance, he felt burnt out. He was appreciated by his bosses for his achievement last year, which is not a reason for his declining involvement in the workplace. Quickly, give me the question number. Question number is 5. Give me your answers. Last year's best performer is, you have been getting complaints that he's not performing well this year. from his immediate superior and from other employees. What is not a reason for his declining involvement? What are the likely reasons? Eliminate them and give me the right answer quickly. A, B, C, D, or E for question 5. All right. All right. Question 5. Excellent. If he is appreciated, motivation at the workplace. Appreciation is the greatest motivator. All others tell you why he lost interest, not E. So E is the answer. Now, why do they give questions like this? Because if you're in a hurry, you will not see this answer and mark the first possible reason for his lack of involvement. All right. This is another one. We are being given combination of options, but not rank order. There are two. One which says 1, 2, and 3. One which says order it in ascending or descending order. That's called rank order preferences. Here, this is just which are the likely most appropriate combination for motivating Vardarajan. He didn't find his work challenging enough. So there are a few steps given to you. Which are the most appropriate? Give him a more challenging assignment. Transfer him from the projects department to the training department. Ask him to take a vacation for 2 months. Send him for further training on decision making under stress. Which one are the uh, likely to motivate him? 1, 2, 3, 1, 3, 4, 1, 4, 2, 3, 4, or all of the above. 1, 2, 3, 4. Question 6. What do you think will motivate him to do better, to get some more interest in his work? C, 1 and 4. Uh, C is 1 and 4. No, Vrinda. Vrinda and has it been given that he is under some kind of stress and he is not able to take decisions? Look at the problem. Problem is lack of interest. Problem is lack of interest in his work. So could be that it is not challenging enough. He's already won the best performer award. Maybe it's not challenging enough. Maybe he wants a change of scene, or maybe he wants a break. Now, nothing has been given about his fault in decision making, that he is taking wrong decisions or that he is likely to be under stress. So, 4 is not a good reason. One, he's not finding his work challenging enough because he's already got the award, so there's no hunger in him to prove himself. Second, maybe he requires a change of scene. Third, maybe he's burdened with too much work, he needs a total break. So 1, 2, and 3 make sense. 4, because it hasn't been given that his decision making skills have been impaired or are impaired. Got it? So 4 is not a reason. All right, next. Last question of the set. You overheard a conversation between Vardarajan and his colleague over an official dinner. He expressed his unhappiness about the fact that good performers were not given their due while poor performers were promoted faster. If he is right, what step should you take now? Okay. If assuming he is right, what are the steps you should take? Promote Vardarajan with immediate effect. Ensure that performance is objectively and transparently assessed. Give another assignment to Vardarajan. Give him a higher salary or fire him. Promote him, fire him. Ensure that performance is objectively and transparently assessed. Assuming he is correct. He said that good performance is not, good performers are not promoted. Poor performers are promoted. So what should be done? Which is obviously your entire promotion criteria, something is wrong. Performance appraisal is not correct. So ensure that that happens. Firing him, see here, you are not taking his performance into account. The whole key is the problem here is performance appraisal is not correct, right? So that is the right answer. All right. Okay. Those of you who want to join our CAT sessions, take a free trial before you join. Look at our test series, join our test series. Somebody was asking me about Maharashtra CET classes. We are having Maharashtra CET classes. Talk to our counselors, join those sessions. Also, we will have YouTube sessions as usual. All right, and don't forget to join us on 7th January for first impressions and detailed analysis of XAT 2024. Look at our cat toppers. We will put up the list of the new names. Follow us on our social media channels so that you get notification of our courses and our sessions. I will see you again this evening in a decision making, in an essay writing class. If you've missed the first class, do join the second one. This would be the last of the essay writing classes. Do join that so we can write decent essays. Once you get selected to the next round, that is the PI process, your essay becomes important. So assume you're going to the second round and write good essays. All right? Okay. See you guys. Bye. See you at 7. And there are other sessions as well at 1 o'clock and 3 o'clock. Gaurav and Saral sessions. Vikrant also, if I remember right. All right. Bye bye. Any questions? Did I miss any questions? Okay. See you then. Bye bye.